Yes, that's right. We welcome you. We're friends. Yeah.
Welcome to the VHS Vault, to just another normal VHS Vault. I lie, Jason. I lie.
Yes.
Welcome to the 100th episode of the VHS Vault.
Confetti.
Who said it? Who
Fireworks.
Yes, big explosions.
They're on a ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Naked man running across the screen. Yeah. Don't know.
No, what
why I said that.
What the heck is wrong with you? I don't know.
Anyway, yes, very exciting. It's our 100th episode. Me and Jason means we've talked about 99 movies, and we're about to talk about our 100th movie tonight. And
we've had 99 movies, but this bitch wasn't one, so we're going to talk about
exactly.
This one.
And I'm delighted in our 100th episode movie. And the movie came up in discussion that we were going to do it, and it was actually you, Jason, that said, I have the perfect spot for that movie. And the movie we're talking about tonight, if you haven't figured out by seeing the thumbnail, it is The War of the Worlds.
Yes, don't forget to put that "the" in there. The is important. Otherwise, it
is
becomes
very
the
important.
Tom Cruise movie.
Exactly.
It's the War of the Worlds, not a War of the Worlds.
Exactly.
I love this movie.
You know, you kind of mentioned it. We will talk about some of the parallels with the 2005 one, which I hadn't remembered, and I was delightfully reminded by watching this version of some of the themes and ideas they used in that 2005 version. This movie, The War of the Worlds, big part of my childhood. Seemed to play a lot on television here when I was a kid. I don't know what your experience was with it when you same thing.
My experience was that I had heard of it, mostly because Disney had a documentary on the Disney Channel back whenever it was still a paid channel about George Powell and the director who directed this movie. And so it showed scenes of it, and it was mostly the scenes of the Martians blasting people, which I was just, as a single-digit old kid, just kind of eating popcorn going, cool.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, as part of the advertising blitz for the War of the Worlds television series, because there was a television series, they played this movie as kind of like a this is what happened before, and now next week the War of the Worlds TV show premieres.
I mean, that's a good point. It was a sequel series.
It was, and it was a good sequel series, if you ask me. It's a little bit cheap and a little bit gratuitous, but I liked it, and I liked this movie. I have great fondness for this movie. I recorded this movie on VHS that night, and we were having a thunderstorm at the time, and so every now and again the power would go out, and I would have to restart the tape when the power came back on. And so watching this movie, I remember a couple of times I'm like, oh, this was where the tape cut off, and this must be everything that I missed. Because I just watched that tape over and over and over again. I love this movie. And it's one of those movies that, even though it is going on 70 years old,
yes,
it still looks great. I would put War of the Worlds up there with The Wizard of Oz, with how well the special effects have held up. In many cases, I would say the special effects look better than some of the new stuff that they have, because
some of them do.
You just cannot top the way that a physical model looks, at least not yet.
Yeah, I agree.
It's classic. It's classic.
It's classic, and one of the key reasons I think it's classic, is it's not a complex plot. It takes the themes from the novel, but essentially rewrites it completely. And there's a lot of difference between this and the novel of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds.
A lot.
Time period, location, characters,
Yeah.
thing. But nevertheless, what it is, when I went back and watched it, I went, you know what? This is actually genius to actually have primarily the movie set in a fake Californian town, and keep most of it there. And then really we get to LA, and that's it. A few streets in LA, and that's it. And they contain it. We get glimpses of what else is happening around the world, basically archival World War II footage, but that's cool.
Yeah, it was really
but
cool
yeah.
that Mount Etna happened to be erupting at that time, so they could get that really cool footage.
Absolutely. So, but its simplicity and its plot, I think it's just charm. And you're right, it is technicolor gone crazy. And I
Mhm.
think that it makes it look gorgeous
Oh,
because
I
the
love
greens are
them.
so
Yes.
vivid. The reds and the everything else. So when the Martians are there, because they're so bright and the juxtaposition to the environment is perfect because they stand out and become even more intimidating, which I think is great. Now, what doesn't hold up, I think, are a lot of the characters, to be honest with you. Just because of, and that's not because I'm not saying they're poorly written, poorly acted. Time has just changed things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Forrester, for example, does come off as a bit of a misogynist every once in a while. He does say some things that today would be considered problematic, but then again, you got to look at it through the lens of the day. That was just the way
Exactly.
things were.
I think
Actually really liked the character of Sylvia because I thought that she was realistically written. And during my research for this VHS Vault, I found out something quite welcome, and that is Miss Ann Robinson still with us at the age of 95. So good on
awesome.
you, Miss Robinson.
Yeah. The only thing I would say, and she's a great actress and she was good. There was a moment that she went into instant hysterical mode that I thought, that's so written by a guy.
Was that the one about no, it's not blood, it's not blood?
Yeah, and she just
Yeah, that one
freaks
was
out.
really kind of odd.
And it's
Especially
like, no, she
especially
wouldn't
with where did the blood get on the towel? When did that
I
even
don't know.
happen? Because
Mate,
he threw something at it and it like ran away, and then it's like, oh, this towel has blood on it.
Yeah, the other thing I didn't like about Sylvia is all the army turns up and they make her go carry around donuts and coffee.
Again, it's the
time.
times.
Yeah.
1953 was not exactly an era of equality for many people, unfortunately.
Now, as a kid, you would have read H.G. Wells'
Mhm.
novel War of the Worlds,
did,
absolutely.
yes.
Do you remember they had a priest character in that as well? In that?
I have not read H.G.
No,
Wells'
they
War of the
did.
World since 5th grade.
Because one of the controversies with War of the Worlds at the time, it was considered anti-religious. Like the character in the novel was a buffoon, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was just H.G. Wells is probably an atheist. Here it feels like they've completely rewritten the character to be, because he's coming off as a heroic, selfless character now.
See,
I'm like, that's disingenuous for me, just because I know the book.
For me though, I found the character to be almost zealot-like. It was basically a suicide bomber who forgot the bomb. Like, what was he gonna do? Go out there and make a point? I mean, what did he think that the doors would open and like, oh, you know of the Savior Jesus Christ too? Let us be friends. It was just to me, it was just a weird choice. Now, I will say, I thought the scene was really good. Just watching it, it's a really good scene. You get this kind of hopelessness and everything about it. I just wish that he would have had a different motivation, because even though I am not a religious person, like, at all, I don't mind the religious themes in this movie. I don't mind them. I will also shock everybody and say that The Prince of Egypt is actually one of my favorite animated movies, so suck on that one for a while.
Look, you have to think of the time too. This is right around the time where Hollywood was under attack, right?
Oh, Mr. McCarthy.
Yeah, this is, so you
certainly
got very strong pro-Christian values emanating throughout this film. But you're right, it doesn't impede from it. It's fairly honest to this time. I mean, it's unfortunately, in this part of California, there are no ethnic people. There's just white people.
There was the one Mexican guy.
It was the one Mexican.
One Mexican guy, and to their credit, I think it was actually played by a Hispanic actor. So it wasn't just a white guy with brown makeup going, "Oh, looky there, Speedy Gonzales." Yeah, it wasn't one of those things.
It was really interesting too to see how the military was portrayed in this film, because obviously we're coming off of two knockout punches. You've won 2 wars at this point. America is militarily the biggest power in the globe. I don't even think the Russians had tested nukes yet at that point when this film was made. So America is basically well policed. Team America, this one. But
America! Yeah.
But there wasn't any arrogance with it. I thought the way they portrayed the military was with class and dignity. It was one of the strengths where I went, it was kind of great. That's the U.S. Army everyone wants to protect.
There's just a bunch of people there just doing a job. I like that as well.
The general, I really liked the general a lot. I liked the way he operated. He was calm. He never ran around screaming, never yelled at anyone, reacted. So I was really happy with with all that. And of course, my favorite bit is in this film, which makes this film, I think, timeless in many ways, is the reality of the ending. Is America don't win. No,
America lucks out.
Exactly.
What do we do? The little bacteria puts on case going, we'll save the day,
we got you sorted.
You know,
and when you talk about Christian values, though, the last line, of the narration of this film, where it says, but God had put bacteria there to save us. Okay, I get it.
It's like, yes, Billy, this germ will kill your little brother at the age of 2, but in about 40 years, it is going to take down a Martian attack force. What's a Martian? Quiet, Billy. Now, I didn't mind it because, to me, everybody going out and seeking out a church, some safe haven, even though the people in there who are like, they're going to get here any minute, dude. It's not safe. To me, that is just the ultimate exercise in futility right there. And it's a very human thing to do, to try to seek out comfort when there is no surviving. I found that very authentic.
Yes.
Was the last line kind of odd? Yeah. But at the same time, at that point, it's just kind of like, okay, this is a religiously based movie written by religiously based people or who are pretending to be religiously based for the sake of the audience. Just roll with it. It's fine.
And they're wrapping this film up quickly. It did have a little bit of a touch of, I'm going back to my home planet now, like Poochie style, right at the end, because they did wrap up really quickly, right? But
I think it was more of a, definitely the whole, I'm going back to my home planet. And, the aliens died on the way back to their home planet. We're never seen again.
Either way, but I'm still enjoying every moment of it because it is a very easy film to consume. It washes over you. It plays it straight, which is, I think, really important for this subject matter, that you played it straight, because then you get away with some of the ridiculousness that surrounds it.
The funny thing is, I noticed that before the Martians appear out of the crater, they did not play it straight. There were lots of jokes, but they were so under the radar jokes. It was things about, let's come up here and, we'll set up a tamale stand. Yeah. And we'll sell hot dogs and everything. I think we should put up some picnic tables. No, if you do that, they'll bring their own food. Things like that.
A little moment.
It was just fun, lighthearted moment. But I tell you why that works. It's because The War of the Worlds does not waste time starting. Now, I'm a big fan of 50s sci-fi, and one of my biggest pet peeves about 50s sci-fi is that they will spend about 20 or 30 minutes before any sci-fi starts. War of the Worlds is like, boom, Martians. Yeah. Like, oh, we got to deal with that now.
Yeah. Straight away.
It's
the first
efficient
frame.
movie.
Did you notice, here's a little bit of a trivia, did you notice which planet was missing from the solar system in the opening of the film?
It was, did they say
because it was Venus, because not much was known about Venus in the early 50s. So when
I remember because they thought it was they thought it was going to be like a rainforest or something because of all the thick clouds.
I don't know how scientifically accurate their descriptions of what the planet environment was like. Was absolutely accurate, but I'm happy to go with that.
When the nerd in me, whenever they went to Jupiter and said Jupiter with its crushing atmosphere and volcanic surface, volcanic what now?
It's mate.
Honey,
I've got more volume in my I got more volume and surface in my bad gas than Jupiter has.
Did they?
So,
I'm kind of surprised. I thought that they knew Jupiter didn't have a surface back then. But then again, if you look at it, I guess they didn't.
no,
You know,
they didn't. Yeah, they didn't.
I don't
It's
even think they knew
still-
what. I don't even think they knew what killed the dinosaurs back then. And I'm not even being.
Oh.
I'm not even being. I'm not joking about that, because if you look at movies like Fantasia
Yeah.
that depict the end of the dinosaurs, it depicts it with like an earthquake and a drought and everything, because they didn't know what killed the dinosaurs.
I don't
It's
know.
kind of neat.
You don't know.
I like that.
Was even Sputnik up at this point of this movie?
I honestly don't know. I think
Don't
it would have
know,
been about
yeah.
53 or 54. So maybe they made
Yeah,
the
it might have
movie and
been
then Sputnik went up.
Yeah. So it's very early on in there, I think.
Yeah.
Knowledge, but it has a wonderful charm. But you know what? It not only has a charm. I don't know how he did it in this film, but there is always that impending sense of doom. Even in
Yes.
those comedy moments, even in the lighter moments, hysterical moments, you feel the weight of something coming. And I think
I
that's a
completely
massive
agree, yeah.
achievement for the film. You know,
I
And-
agree. Yeah, it keeps the tension very high, even
Yeah.
when there's no Martians around. Their presence is felt. I remember that one scene whenever the old woman is on the street and she's talking about she's trying to sell newspapers and she's knitting and just
Yeah.
casually saying the Martians are here, the Martians are there. She says
Yeah.
"my am I," which I think is kind of weird. But
Yeah.
then she kind of looks up because there are cop cars going by, and this movie never lets up with that
Yeah.
idea that the Martians are right around the corner, and it gives more authenticity. I think that's the word I'm looking for with this movie, is that even though it is about invaders from Mars, everything in it feels authentic. Like
Yeah.
this is the way people and governments would probably react.
especially in that time period, I thought it was very
yeah.
authentic to its time. I would say, though, I mean, just because it's a night, you can't avoid this. So for me saying this, I feel like a moron saying it. I mean, it's all shot in the soundstage, and there is a couple of exterior shots, but mostly it very much feels like in lot 3 on the Paramount studio, which is fine. But
Those
that's the
cameras
time.
back then were the size of a minivan. They couldn't just take them everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Not like the cameras now. For Superman, the recent Superman, the cameras they're holding were about that wide, the cinematographer, and it's basically just one giant lens, and the cables go to a Ghostbusters proton pack thing now. I don't know. I'm a nerd. I love all that stuff.
No,
I thought, wow,
29 years later, this is what they used.
yeah.
They used phones, which I'm just kind of like, that's actually kind of neat. I could make my own movie now.
Yeah. Now going back to this one, the other thing is the farmhouse scene, and I'd forgotten about it, where he chops off the head of one of the alien, what do they call them, tentacles or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
That scene, and I'd forgotten when I saw it. I went, "Oh my god!" They recreated the scene for War of the Worlds 2005. And I'd never at any point kind of put those two together, ever.
Yeah, there was some tributes. I don't know if you saw, but at the end of the 2005 War of the Worlds, Gene Barry and Ann Robinson played the grandparents that were waiting in Boston.
Ah, did they really?
So it was Dr. Forrester and Sylvia.
Yeah, because I imagine Spielberg loved this film.
Who doesn't?
It would have been, but his age, his time, it probably was a big film. Because I consider this a blockbuster film in the time before blockbusters, right?
Oh, yeah.
This would have been a massive, yeah, absolutely. So no, I like the tributes. I think the film really still works, shockingly so. I think being an hour and 25 minutes helps a lot because there is no procrastination. You said we start with a meteor, and then once they're dead, we're out. It's time to go get dinner somewhere. So
until the TV spin-off sequel, at least.
That's surprising.
Gene and Ann are in that one too. By the way,
that's right. She doesn't she appear in 3 episodes? I believe the Doctor.
I think so. They appear as Dr. Forrester
She like
and
big
Sylvia.
part of their canon. Yeah. I never watched the show, so I had to actually look it up before we started this because it didn't really appear down here. Didn't go long, did it?
It went 2 seasons.
2 seasons.
It was weird because the first season was it was kind of like the X-Files, where the Martians are trying to subvert the government, or they're trying to dig up a weapon or something, and they'd go out and stop them. And in the second season, they kill off half the cast, and now all of a sudden it's post-apocalyptic, and the Martians are close to taking over, and they're like killing people with their minds. And it's a huge U-turn with their tone in the second season. But we do get a young Adrian Paul, who would go on to become the Highlander in the TV show. So there you go.
Very cool. There is an interaction with an alien in this, an actual, like, what looks like a cute alien. My problem in this film was I don't think that particular alien was trying to hurt anyone.
I think that it was just a friend. It was doing one of those things.
Like, hey, we're trying to get, the local diner. Maybe he was asking for directions. That's my point.
Excuse me, my periscope is stuck in your house. Can you help me get it out? Please don't hurt it, because it's connected to my eye socket. Oh my God.
That's it. I don't think the alien was trying to hurt them. So that's one point in the movie. I'm like, I think they might have gone a bit far there.
I am of the mind that I don't know. I don't think that the alien could see very well. So I think that it was like feeling around and just happened to put its suckery little hand on Sylvia's shoulder. Because it's a weird scene. I don't think the alien's cute at all. I actually think the alien's pretty terrifying. I think that if they had not had the Technicolor eyes, it would have been a lot scarier.
Eyes help a lot. Yeah.
The eyes are just like, oh, it's a rainbow eye. No, if they'd just been black or even just all one color, it would have been fine. But yeah, I thought just it being the fact that you don't see it very well, and the skin is all gross and slimy, and I think it's a very effective looking alien for the time. If you want to know my opinion, I think it's probably one of the most terrifying ones. Definitely,
I'm a big fan of that alien. I think that I would be happy to legally represent that alien in that situation, because I think he kind of got screwed over. I'll be honest.
Did you or did you not throw a rock at this alien whenever he was checking to see if Sylvia was okay? Right. Well, he had these weird looking eyes. You have weird looking eyes, according to him, sir.
Yeah. Well, here, do you have some cool little facts too? This film actually is the source of a couple of really important sound effects.
Mm-hmm. I already know which ones they are.
Oh, go ahead, Jase. I know what they are too. Guess
there's
the first one I'm talking about.
That sound effect that I'm now going to play right here.
Decades after. Yeah, in lots of shows.
And then the alien death ray, that do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, which was, if I am not mistaken, a plane engine trying to turn over. That was sped up. Yeah.
Well,
and then the alien, the green ray was a taut cord that was being hit by something metal, making it go twang, twang, twang. There's great sound effects. I love
which was used in Star Trek, the original series, accompanying the launch of their
that's the torpedoes. Yes.
So very iconic, I thought. So, which is pretty great, and you can feel that this is the source of a lot of inspiration, not just for further War of the Worlds films, but for a lot of science fiction alien invasion movies, all the way through to the 80s. I think of Invaders from Mars. I can think of lots of different like those type of invasion movies, and there is definitely either a intent to copy or to be very inspired or to pay homage to. So yeah, it's very important film. Man, I wonder how a room full of kids would handle this. I think it's still got enough life in it that they would enjoy it.
I honestly think that younger kids would probably enjoy it more than the older kids would, because the younger kids would be more apt to forgive some of the special effects work that maybe has not held up perfectly. I still think it's held up very well, but it depends on which version of the movie you're watching, because if you get it on Blu-ray, they upscaled it too much, and now you can see the strings, and they ruin the effect. That is so dumb.
No, I didn't see that one.
I saw the one on Amazon, which is I bought years ago and still love.
Still have it. Yeah. No, I didn't see that. But also that they've there's no legs. Like, obviously in the description of every other War of the Worlds, they're tripods. but apparently they are still tripods in this version.
They are,
but
yes.
Their legs are invisible.
You can see it whenever they're first coming up. You can see these little rays underneath the ship. That's their forced
Invisible
tripod legs. Yeah.
Which is an explanation I appreciate. Didn't need it because honestly, they looked great anyway. And I think why they also looked great because they didn't, like at that point, flying saucers were round dishes. You know, they were all the same. Generally, people were stuck in the saucer concept. And here they broke away from the saucer concept.
Mm-hmm.
And are visually stunning.
No, they're beautiful ships. I love the alien attack ships. And the fact that they gave them all a cobra head, I thought was just... that I didn't recognize it was a cobra head at first. But there was just something about it that just triggered this primal fear inside of me. And then I was like, oh, it's because it's a cobra. It's a cobra head.
Those effects actually don't only hold up. They're better now because they're in HD. Oh, those models, especially those model shots.
Yeah. And here's a fun fact for you. For those of you who lament the fact that they were not like physical tripods in the War of the Worlds TV show, they established that Orson Welles' War of the Worlds newscast was a real event and that there actually were Martians in the 1920s or 30s whenever he made it. And that was a tripod, and the Martians capture it at one point, and they like make it stand up, and they're about to go and, you know, blow people up with it. But then, you know, the good guys blow it up with a bomb they left on the inside. Yeah, so, yeah, there you go. Good piece of comedy.
I love the fact that they at least went what's it? What do they call that movie? Fantastic. Besides War of the Worlds, that Orson Welles movie is a perfect companion to this movie, where it's basically the telling of that true story when we did that Halloween night. That's, you know, that we got invaded by Martians. It's an excellent companion. Standalone as a film is not only gripping, but really disturbing in scenes. Like a family. If you're worried about the end of The Mist, there's something very similar in that movie. Am I right, Jase? Like, very dark for a 1940s movie. Very dark. So yeah, I would recommend to go see that as much as
I'm even gonna say the Spielberg Tom Cruise movie is pretty good. I don't think it's as good. I think it definitely has some problems in this boy should be dead. Why is he still alive at the end of the movie problem? Because it just kind of like destroys all the realism. But it's a good adaptation. But I still think that the War of the Worlds is still the best.
I agree. I will not argue that. I agree with you. As much as I do like the Tom Cruise movie, there are certain scenes of that are spectacular. The initial invasions and attack scenes are great. The same with Tim Robertson in the house is wonderful. Mm-hmm. And that scene of seeing him having to let go of his son as he runs over the hill, is absolutely gutted by what is a horrible moment at the end.
I like Justin Chatwin just fine, but he should have died in that movie. That should have been the last we saw.
It was so implied that he died, and he should have. Yeah. Like, because that was part of Tom Cruise's journey. He had to learn to let go. No, he doesn't, because his son's fine. He just got an Uber. That's all it was.
Like, gee, which kid should I hang on to? The one who's such a douchebag, or the girl who loves me unconditionally? Bye, douchebag. Yeah. You got that smart ass mouth on you now. Have fun blowing up.
There you go. Oh, well, then, guys, that was our review of The War of the Worlds. I know a lot of the audience out there has seen this. I can't wait to read all the comments on this video, Jason, because this is a movie I think everyone's got memories of, without question.
I certainly hope they do, and if they don't, I hope that this gives them motivation to go make some memories, because quite frankly, if you're one of those, I don't watch movies that were made before 2006, make an exception, because this is a really good film. It has held up extraordinarily well. As a matter of fact, if I was to tell you it was a period piece that was released in the 80s, you'd probably believe me.
And the other thing is, I think you brought it up way earlier in this discussion too. I like the comparison, well, not comparison, but in the same feeling as Wizard of Oz, I think is apt. So
Yes.
that's how highly I rate it. I think it's up there as being one of the classic Hollywood cinema films,
Worthy
especially
of
science
our
fiction. It is the granddaddy of science fiction films. I mean,
worthy of our 100th episode.
exactly. But we're not just ending it on 100. We've got a lot more to do. Which
Oh
means
no, we ain't done with this garbage yet. No, sir.
No way. We got a lot to do. So there is a way that you can't get off the boat yet. The boat's just leaving dock. So hang on and get involved.
No.
And
As
how
a
they
matter
get
of
involved,
fact,
Jase?
as a matter of fact, I'm really looking forward to next week's episode too, because we get into what I think is a little spoiler alert for you right here. I think we get into one of the best superhero movies ever made. That is Hellboy 2. Yeah, Hellboy 2, the Golden Army. And then you made this choice, and I'm all for it. After that, we're going to be going into what I think is one of the finest science fiction movies ever made. And that is The Fifth Element.
Yes.
I love The Fifth Element.
I can't wait to talk about that film, because that is like finding a bag full of money. You weren't expecting it, and you couldn't believe how amazing it was when it happened.
Yep. War of the Worlds, Hellboy, the Golden Army, The Fifth Element. I'm going to be happy for 3 weeks exactly, and then I'm going to be sad, because then we're doing the David Harbour reboot of Hellboy. Sorry, I just
we'll get there. We'll deal with that. Sorry. We'll deal with that. It's okay. For a lot of pleasure, you get a little bit of pain. That's why the guys are going to join up, because it's way more pleasure than pain. And Jase, you've got to tell them, how do they get on the pleasure cruise, which is the VHS Vault?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to become a Patreon or channel member of this fine YouTube channel, please check out the video description below for your opportunity to do that. You can support us for as little as $5 a month, and in return, you get everything early. Just as soon as it is edited and put on the channel, you got it, baby. Sometimes you even get bloopers, and then I'm like, oh, I need to re-edit that. So yeah, so you can get those. Go, oh, hey, look at this idiot. He can't even edit properly. You know what? You're right. I can't. Are you happy now? So just become a Patreon, all right? Because now you own.
Well, authenticity is our game, and that means we screw up occasionally. So
occasionally,
that's authenticity. Anyway, I found myself, by the way, just before we go, I was going like that. I don't know why I was doing that. So I feel like now I've got to say, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Hillary.
That's by Blue Clinton. Not bad, right?
Why are you on Twitter asking them to release the files? Don't do that, baby. Don't do that.
That's a pretty good Bill Clinton. I thought mine was good. Being Australian doing Bill Clinton. I miss that guy. He would have handled those aliens, let me just say. He would have handled those aliens.
Give me 5 minutes with them in a futon. I can change their minds.
He would have. He was Slick Willie. That's who he was. Anyway,
they're gonna get a Slick Willie from me, and let me tell you, they're also gonna get many diseases that'll take them out.
Yeah, bad.
I did not have sexual relations with that Martian. We just banged proficiently. Thank you, everyone.